What is up, my friends? Welcome to the Side Quest. We are officially Sam Bankman freed because the dude is going to jail. We're all excited. Yeah, got him. Got him. I'm one of your wonderful hosts, Dolly Domofsky, here in the beautiful home of the Detroit Lions, my 6-2 Lions. Second best team in all of NFL. But we'll go from there. Joining me as usual is JJ Holder, the _double_J, which we don't even put our tags in there. Just find us in the Discord. Anyways, in the home of one of the two teams that have beaten us.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Les Hawks de Sea.
I don't even know what our record is right now. It's not great.
No, you guys are really good. I think you guys are 5-2.
I think so too. I think it's I think we're 5-2. You're right.
Yeah, but you guys are gonna start losing bad.
I mean, second half of seasons are never great for Seattle. So,
how you doing, my dude?
Oh, I'm doing. That's all I can say.
Yeah, you're doing. It is. I always want to start these episodes earlier. First and foremost, it's been basically 2 weeks because we did 2 episodes in a row.
Yeah.
We did the podcast on like a Monday or whatever, and then Wednesday we did the live stream of the
Jackbox.
Thank you. And we haven't had a show because I went on vacation. Ooh, excuse me, which I freaking needed one. It was forever ago that I had been on a vacation, so we did hopped on a boat, hung out on the cruise for a few days. That was good. And now here we are. I'm back, and we haven't had a chance to do it. I got back on Friday night.
Yeah.
Did all the Halloween stuff. Couldn't do it over the weekend, and now here we are. We are on a Thursday. But we're going to try to get I'm going to try to get a few of these pumped out quicker to sort of catch us up in our episode count to where we should be. So we'll get there. We are at like hundreds of episodes. I think somewhere like probably floating around 500 episodes, if not longer, if not more than that. Christ. 600, 700. We are one of the longest running podcasts for video games on the internet for some stupid reason.
That's because we're too stupid to stop.
I needed a vacation last week. You can see me yawning.
Yeah. It's late where you're at.
It is. It's 10. We're starting at 10 o'clock, 10 for 12.
Just 7 o'clock for me. I still got plenty of gaming left.
I never drink this late unless I'm on a podcast, but I never drink this late. But when my meetings with my customers just ended, long ass work days. So I decided, you know what? I'm gonna celebrate the year. It's not the weekend yet. There's still a whole other freaking day that I have to work, but I made myself some cider and caramel vodka. So in the fall mood, even though we've already got some Christmassy music and stuff happening in our house starting. I love Christmas. Did want to bring up a couple fun things. If you're part of the Discord, looks like we're going to do the Secret Santa again, which we did last year, and that was a lot of fun. So if you're interested, hop into the Discord. I put a question out there. Let me know. I'll probably set up a whole separate section again. We had a good one last year. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The only problem was all the gifts kind of came, like the gifts sort of arrived at the same time, but or arrived at different times, so we didn't get a chance to open them all at once. I think this year maybe we'll wait to open them all at once. Hey, we have a great comment.
Yeah.
Sorry to bother you. Want to offer promotion to your channel viewers, followers, views, chatbots. Oh, it's lower than any competitor. Sweet. Thank you, Immature After MC.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Look at the website. Go to streamrise.ru. Perfect. Are you kidding me? RU stands for really uncle. I don't know. Anyways, here we are. Yeah, so we're gonna do that. That'll be a lot of fun. We're also planning some.
I think so. Too. Like Johnny was my Secret Santa last year, and the gift that he had actually ordered didn't come until like March or something.
Oh no, shit! I remember you were posting. I remember you posting. You're like, I finally got it, Johnny.
Yeah. It was,
the thing he ordered in February didn't show up till March. Really? Yeah. No, just kidding. I gave a gift to Playland, and I got a gift from Stefan, so it was a lot of fun. I got Stefan got me a really cool board game, so that was a blast, and I played with my daughter a couple times. So, but yeah, we do a really fun thing. It's just really low cost.
Yeah.
But yeah, let us know. And like I said, we're gonna do some fun holiday-ish stuff. I got giveaways that we're gonna be starting up because I love to do giveaways. We got lots of codes, and I got full swag that they send us, and I'm in a clearing out the house mood. All this swag has been sitting here for the last year, 2 years, 3 years. So expect to have giveaways over the next several weeks here, next 2 months. And then we got the Game Awards, which I'm going to be heading out to the Game Awards and maybe doing some secret stuff over there. We'll keep you informed. I expect JJ and the crew over here to host our annual drink along.
Yeah.
Without me, so it'll be fun. But yeah, it's been a week. Sorry, I'm like all nasally right now from being tired and from drinking, so I'll keep muting myself. It's been a week, and we're gonna get into some news, some quick news first, and then we'll get into some of the stuff we've been playing. News-wise, like I said, it's been a week because I'm gonna post this information first. There were layoffs this week at Bungie. A few companies, as usual, but as is the case for the games industry over the last few years, after we had the COVID bubble is bursting right now. All the mergers and acquisitions bubbles are bursting right now. And so the layoffs are happening, man.
The Bungie one, the deeper you get into the rabbit hole of the Bungie one, the more and more it sounds like they're just bursting their own bubble for
yeah, I think so. They tried to do a lot and take on a lot, and I think they're just like, oh crap, we can't end up doing all this stuff, and we kind of screwed up. So yeah, Bungie is definitely bursting. Their apology letter was not very good.
Definitely not AI written. That's
definitely not AI written, not at all. Around 100 staff, 8% of the workforce. I didn't realize Bungie was that big. 100 staff, 8%. If my math is correct,
yeah,
like
right.
140 people work at that company. No, it's like what, over 1,000 folks. So it's something for sure. You know, you got
10% of people. 10% of 1,000 would be 100. So
yeah, there you go. So it's sad. First of all, for everybody that's been affected, that totally sucks. It really does. And I'm definitely not an apologist for corporations because I freaking hate the way corporations work. The people that lost their jobs, as we always say, it is definitely not you. You've put out quality work. It is dumb folks who are up there, and they're the finance people who don't actually work. They just like manage fake numbers out there. And so it's definitely not the people that do the jobs.
This one's particularly nasty just because they're doing it at the end of the month. Yep. So the people that are getting fired lose all their shit. And on the precipice of some of the stock options becoming, it's just they're being shitty about this one in particular. Really and it seems almost malicious in a weird way.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah. I'm and like I said, I definitely don't want to sound like any kind of apologist for corporations because I'm very like pro union and pro worker and all that kind of stuff. And this kind of stuff breaks my heart. At the same time, I hate to say we saw this shit coming, but as these companies get bigger and bigger, this is what happened because actual developers aren't at the tops of these companies anymore. It is CEOs who just have like business degrees or finance degrees. It's not an actual person who, even the people who start these companies are no longer around at a lot of these companies. And so it's literally they're conglomerates, and Bungie's a part of a bigger company. And so
I do like that there had to be some stuff coming out where it's like where Sony's like, we did not tell them to do any of this.
We swear we didn't do it. Please buy our PlayStation Slim. But I like I said, hate to say it, this is the kind of stuff that's just going to keep happening. And I don't want to say get used to it, but unfortunately, we're going to have to get used to shitty business practices and be prepared for how to react to them. And at least
Yeah, I
Go
gotta say.
ahead.
So
No.
all you have to say is buckle up, people at Activision.
Yeah, here's the next ones. Activision. If you think that Microsoft, if you think you're safe, if you know that if you Xbots thought this was like the greatest news ever,
Yeah.
get ready. No, it
Ask everyone at Maxis how they feel about.
exactly. Remember My Sims?
Yeah.
Remember Sims? the This kind of leads into a little bit of a conversation. Stefan in the Discord posted this, and I thought it was good. You know, he said it's the when you look at scoring game quality wise, some of the highest quality games of all time have been released this year. In a year where we're essentially, I don't want to say shitting on stuff like Starfield. Starfield would have been, in any other year, would have been like the only game people talk about because it's just so massive. But this year, it's not. There's so many games out.
I was looking at some of the stuff that came out this year, and it's
unreal.
It's kind of flabbergasting. Like
yeah.
a Fire Emblem game came out this year, and
Nobody's
it's
talking
not
about it.
even in the running.
Nope.
Like,
and it's a great game, by the way. It's a really fucking great game. Hi-Fi Rush. People forgot that because it came out in January, early February.
Yeah.
Metroid Prime remake came out.
Yeah.
Elden Ring. No, just kidding. I think a Zelda game came out this year. Pikmin
Maybe.
4, the game of the year, came out this year. No, it's a truly astounding year, and we have the dark cloud of layoffs, of that kind of stuff. But
this year in particular, this year in particular is the payoff of the COVID closures is what this is. Every project where that had all hands on deck, away from home, where that you could just work on shit while you're doing your stuff. Like, this is the final payoff for all of that.
Yep.
So like that's why you have so much this year, because everything just COVID worked to their advantage on this big AAA stuff. So
everything landed. It is all the think about that for Emily, but I honestly can't remember. It's
the one where the main character is colored.
It's the Colgate
like a
one right here. It's a Colgate one.
It's red and blue, like the Switch Joy-Cons.
That's right. I think that was the reason he did it. But yeah, as much as the games, the quality of the games is massive this year. It's honestly next to 2007, which was I think 2008. Whenever BioShock came out, that year was phenomenal.
This is right of like 06, 07, 08 was just like bam, bam, bam.
Wow.
Yeah.
But again, the dark cloud of all the layoffs. But I hate to say, the bright spot is that unionization really took off this year, and across the board, because the labor movement has been pretty big. It sucks people lost their jobs. And there's that initial shock, which sucked, because you and I and everybody knows people who have been laid off, and it sucks. And some of us know people who have been laid off multiple times, and it's a shot in the, and how am I going to feed my family? How am I going to pay my bills? Blah, blah. All these are talented people. I'm fairly confident that they're all going to get back on their feet and find something amazing out there. The union aspect, I think, is terrific, because we're finally seeing a true gaming labor movement with like even the SAG stuff, with the voice actors and the mocap actors, the game writers, all that's starting to really happen. And I think that is, with the bad of the layoffs comes the exceptionally good part of getting organized labor and essentially turning the gaming industry into a real gosh darn industry. You still got the hobbyist level stuff. You still have the kids in the garage playing their dad's guitar and putting out a mixtape, but now you have folks who can go to college and become, colleges, hundreds of colleges, and thousands in the US have full-fledged video game development curriculums. And I think that's pretty awesome. And we don't talk about that enough. But again, it sucks for labor, for the people that lose their jobs. But look at every other thing, every good thing that's happened this year. And I don't think I don't want to bring that stuff down for some of the negatives that have happened. Anyways, great quality of games this year. Like you and I were kind of talking about, the layoffs suck, but those folks will they will find.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing about the gaming industry is that it's so fluid already to begin with.
It really is. Yeah.
So how many people do you know that aren't like founders of studios that had been with a single game developer for more than a few years and then moved? It sucks to have that decision made for you out of your control, but it's something that was going to happen in your career sooner or later. So, I mean, just at least to put a silver lining on it, at least you're going to get that opportunity to just, it's going to happen.
I'm hopeful they get good severance packages. I'm hopeful all the good comes from that standpoint.
Yeah. Nobody wants to just nobody wants to have that decision made for them, but I have confidence in so many people.
Totally.
Especially if you worked at Bungie and you worked at like 100 staff. If just having Bungie on your resume is a foot in the door at so many places. So.
What'd you work on? Even if you freaking worked in the cafeteria there, they're like, you have Bungie on your resume and you serve donuts. You are hired as CEO of EA or whatever. I think it's that level of and all of these companies have that. There's all these. I think another great aspect is that there have been these giant AAA developers, and now these smaller companies have bubbled up. And companies are being formed all the time. We just found out about one of the former World of Warcraft dudes. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna start up his own company. I forget what it was called, Pixel Sword or whatever, Pixel Castle. Yeah. They announced it today, and he's like, I'm just gonna make my own MMO, and I'm hiring a team. And so all these companies are popping up. There are more companies right now.
Well-known, easy game to develop MMO.
Yeah, totally easy game. And they're not AAA. And they may not have the notoriety of working on let's say Destiny or Call of Duty or Mario or whatever, but you're going to get you can sign up with a lot of these companies and start in like middle tier. For instance, one company that is a middle tier, but that has now sort of in a weird way is like almost like high middle tier. They were definitely indie working on other projects, but now they're owned in a conglomerate, and that is Digital Eclipse, one of the cool companies that we've loved a lot of the stuff they've put out. Their Gold Master series, the Wizardry remake, the Karateka stuff, the Atari 50, which I keep going back to. They got
Ninja Turtles
picked up by Ninja Turtles. They got picked up by Atari.
Or in the process of getting picked up by Atari.
Exactly. Now, the news is that they're not going to stop working on, they're not going to be exclusive to Atari in terms of the stuff they work on. They're owned by Atari, but they're still going to be working on projects from other companies. I think it's the pivot for what Atari is.
Yeah, Atari is a tale of two companies right now. Because you have that gaming side of Atari that's going really, really strong, and you have that other side of Atari that's kind of shady. You got all that
NFT side,
the hotel side, and all the weird like other stuff, which I don't. Yeah, because Atari just acquired Atari Age recently too.
Yeah,
which was a weird one, but I get it. So
Yep.
In terms of games,
there's the business side, but there's definitely the game side.
The game side, and that part's the strongest part of Atari right now in terms of consistent quality output. So that's good. I'm glad to see Digital Eclipse doing that. It's not to say I'm not going to be nervous for Digital Eclipse because this is an acquisition and this is Atari, a company notorious for going under at least 5 times.
Yep.
So, but it gets more money into Digital Eclipse's coffers. So,
and lets them do more cool stuff. I mean, they're announcing their next Gold Master series soon. So they've got that. They said this year before the end of 2023, at least in their last newsletter. So I'm expecting that probably by the end of this month. I'm going to think that they may get something, or maybe around the Game Awards or whatever. Something like that is gonna pop up. What I think is really cool. So I mean, again, I'm gonna be nervous until we start seeing them continue being who they are. But yeah, I think it's cool. For them, they get an injection of money, and they started off as like this little group of folks who were really into.
Yeah, it's wild.
They've been around for a long time, by the way. They're around for like 30 years, right?
I recently picked up a GBA game a month or so ago for the Tron 2.0. And that's developed by Digital Eclipse, which I had no idea. But once you get into it, you realize that it has full arcade ports of the arcade games shoved in there too. You're like, okay, this is definitely Digital Eclipse.
Yeah. No, I think it's really cool. The stuff that they've been putting out. We've given them props the last couple of years. So for $20 million, you know what's not $20 million? This is the last news bite that I have.
Okay.
That's Five Nights at Freddy's, which is actually $80 million domestically in 100 something.
Yeah.
The second biggest video game opening of all time. So that is kudos to them for really.
And it's also like,
I mean, kudos is whatever. It's for it hit right, I guess. Right timing.
But it's also like one of the biggest openings for like a horror movie of all time too.
Biggest October opening they said for a horror movie,
which is like the primo horror time. So it's so weird. Imagine how much money this movie would have made if it came out like 5 years ago.
Oh
like,
God, yeah.
When this is already ridiculous. Yeah, this is already a ridiculous amount, but like. If it was like even like if they were able to strike while the irons were hot, you could only imagine.
It's funny because I was looking up the box office returns, and we've now made more money this year than last year, and that's thanks to Mario and Barbie and Oppenheimer. It's like those three, bam, those are the movies that got us over the Top Gun Maverick, the thing. But we are like 4 billion, 5 billion, 8 billion behind 2018, 2019, which were just monsters. We've caught back up to 2001, I believe, or 2001. So which is 22 years ago for movie returns, 7 billion. You think?
I kind of wish we would just go to like how other countries do like ticket sales, because I'm more interested in that number than $80 million. Because what does $80 million mean, really? Like,
it's comparable to like 40 million or 30 million back in 2000.
And
which was big back then, but
like because like now I have to do math because I have to see what like inflation is, because it's like this is the biggest movie opening weekend, but also if I inflated what this movie made in like 2001, it's like doubles what it's so so weird that we do it this way, but and also like. Very rarely am I putting like my personal money into a movie anymore, like because I've like the AMC club. So AMC's just comping me tickets. I get 3 tickets a week. Like, I went to go see fucking whatever Oppenheimer, and like I didn't pay the $20 for that. I paid the $25 to AMC for the whole month. And like what does that count towards that? Do you just count it as a ticket sale? Which ticket sale are you counting it for? The showing that I went to? So it's a theoretical $15 that I gave it or whatever. I don't know. Like who knows anymore.
So the Game Pass, how does Game Pass factor in? That's basically where but they were raving like, oh, it was the biggest Friday ever for a video game movie. It's like, well, or the biggest opening day ever for a video game movie, because it theoretically beat Nintendo, or beat the Mario movie, which opened on a Wednesday. Which is why it was not as big. But meanwhile, the actual biggest Friday is Mario, which still beat this game, and even though that was like the third day that was out, so
that's why movies kept pushing back, like opening like Wednesdays and Thursdays, because they get to also extend out their opening weekend numbers and shit. It's just it's all just Hollywood math, which
it really is.
I could go into a 2-hour podcast about what Hollywood math is and not even get to the bottom of it.
Sure. But I mean, hey, good for them. Also, the movie's on Peacock, so if you don't want to pay money, just
is it
on Peacock? Yeah,
is it on Peacock?
It's on Peacock
right now.
It's right now. Like it was one of those dual debuts that it's on Peacock, and which is wild to think they made this much money. But like, at the same time, you didn't know which is I think the majority of folks who went to the theater were like, "Oh wait,
I would have watched it if I had known that. I don't care.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it this weekend. So, but you know, it's always good to see the gaming genre in movies because we're kind of getting sick of the comic book stuff that's happening.
Well, I'm not, but
no, you and I are not. Actually, you and I are not. We still love that shit. A new episode of Loki tonight, by the way.
Yeah,
so I think it's now, right? So I'll be watching that in a little bit.
And speaking of video game movies, I just want to pitch out to the world that my favorite YouTube channel down the rabbit hole
you mentioned it,
just uploaded over 2 years in the making, officially sanctioned by CCP and all those guys. It is an almost 6-hour documentary about EVE Online and its entire history and lore and background and everything. Fred Knutson does incredible deep dive documentaries. I don't think he's put out a single stinker yet. And he's put so much hard work into this one. And he's had to start over from the beginning because he hated the original script. And like I said, this thing's 6 hours and stuff. So it's I'm only I'm only an hour and a half into it, and it's already the best movie of the year, so
the best movie of the year. It's a Marvel length movie, which is
great. It's if you went to go see the entire Endgame, Infinity War Endgame back to back, still not that long. So
I can't wait for the day where they put those two back out there. Which I'm probably assuming it's probably coming because we've heard the rumors of all the other Avengers related stuff. But anyways, that's it for the news. We are in the absolute thick of it with video games. I think all of us have been playing some just nonstop bangers over the last 3 weeks. Many fucking games. And we're going to get through them over the next few weeks, right? The Spider-Mans, the Marios, the Alan Wakes. There's a lot to talk about. But we're going to spend time just discussing Sonic Superstars. And we have on top of my network on this laptop, man, Windows.
I was just letting it go, man.
Just let it go. No, I want to talk about a game that I'm playing. Too many games. The petition for longer. I agree. I don't know how some folks can get 36-hour days. I will say, flying back from Japan when I was there in October, I had left there at let's see. I flew out of Japan at 2 o'clock. And or 3 o'clock, and I landed in the U.S. in Detroit at 2:30. So great. I went back in time. Basically took a 24-hour day and turned it into a 37-hour day. So that's how you do it. Just keep going. Keep going east, and you'll eventually gain 12 hours a day. So I've been playing some games. You've been playing some games. We're gonna get through some of this stuff. I wanted to bring up, we got a lot of review codes, tons of review codes. We're getting tons more. And God bless you, JJ. What did you do there? God bless you, JJ, for being the one who can actually get around reviewing all these.
I work 5 8s and don't have children, so I get actually have time to.
That does work. That does work. I do neither of those. I have neither. I have children and I work 540s. That's how I get my extra hours a day work. We've been getting a lot of review codes. I want to get through a couple of them. Now,
I just want to point out that I am union, so
there you go. The SideQuesting union. There's a couple games that I'm going to get through. The first one is on Switch, Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed. That came out for Switch back on the 19th or 20th, 19th thing. Perfect time for spooky season. The Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed, we played it. I think we have it for Epic Games.
We all got codes. I'm the only one that played it.
more than I think I turned it on and like moved around and that was it. You're the one that really got into it.
I played it both on Epic and I got the PS5 version because it comes with a Tobin Spirit Guide box.
Oh, sweet. So. Well, I got sent the Switch version because they put the game on a Switch. Now, I was super excited to actually try this out because I thought, playing these multiplayer games portably is something that I actually kind of like to do. When I sit at home and I'm in front of a big screen TV, I want to play a cinematic masterpiece. When I'm playing a multiplayer game, I want to be on the couch watching something, and kind of multiplayer for me is a little bit more mindless, I guess. So I was excited to play this. Steam Deck aside and whatever the Sony streaming thing is. Excited to play this. Load the game up October, whenever they sent me the code, like the 14th of October, whatever, it's 13th of October, Friday 13th. And I'm like, let's go. Loading error. Like, okay. Tried a few times, no issue, no problem. No, it doesn't work. Delete it, start it back up, nothing. Okay, whatever. I'll try again tomorrow. October 14th, same issue. October 15th, same issue. Nothing online about it because it wasn't out for Switch yet.
Yeah, and nobody else is going to be reviewing the Switch version of any sort of.
Else going to be reviewing the Switch version except me. So every day I'm like, okay, and there were no list of bugs that we got for our review copy.
Yeah.
I believe I even sent the note out. I was like, hey, I can't get this game up and running. Is there a patch coming? Nothing. Didn't hear back. Finally, the game releases on the 19th or whatever it was. Still no update. I can't get this thing to work. Meanwhile, I see some folks are able to get it to work because I see some kind of. I joined the Discord and some folks are talking about playing, and I'm like, oh, how are they playing? And I'm not. I deleted. I uninstalled. I'm like hopping around the Discord to find. I'm not super active. I don't like to ask a lot of questions. I like to just read and get the answer because I'm that dumb. Finally, I keep hunting around. Finally, come to find out, after 2 weeks of owning the game, the problem is if you have over 100, if you have 100 or more friends on your Switch, you cannot play the game. There is a bug that's preventing playing this game. I have like 130 friends on Switch. Just you go through, just add, or whatever that thing is.
Yeah, I don't do that.
I just added a bunch. I just did a search for everybody that I knew on Twitter and whatever that was called, and Facebook, and 3DS and Wii U, and added them all. So I have not been able to play this game, and I'm kind of bummed. And they're working on it, but there's no release date timing for this patch, so you can play. As soon as they get it, I'll let you guys know. I'm not going to delete people.
Yeah. Does the online go through EGS like some of like?
I don't know.
I think because I think
it stops loading.
Yeah, because I think the PS5 version you had to log into your Epic account because it uses EGS.
It probably does. I think so. It probably does. But yeah,
the Switch just isn't used to that, and it's just like, what the fuck you say?
It may not be. I mean, Fortnite works.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, I was a little bummed. So whenever I get to that, we'll get to that. But
I like that
game.
It's not great, but it's not perfect. Yeah. I mean, it's the Ghostbusters. The video game was obviously a better experience overall, but as a Ghostbusters game goes, it's the second best Ghostbusters game.
I'll let you know as soon as I get a chance. Hey JJ, have you heard of Arte? Do you know what Arte is?
Art Bell.
Art.
Garfunkel.
There's probably an Art Johnson out there. No,
Artie, the strongest man in the world.
Yeah, there you go. Isn't there a guy named Art that owns the Oakland Raiders? Or Las Vegas Raiders, wherever they are now. Who knows? There is a game company named Art, which I did not. Arte, a French game company.
Arte.
Yeah, exactly. Art Vark, as Exaggerating says. No, there's a game company named Art, and they've been around for 10 years. And I had never heard of this company. We got a review code in. They said, hey, we got our 10th anniversary. We've been putting out 10 games. We want to send you a code that kind of bundles, some of our games, not 10 games, but some of our games over the last 10 years.
Yeah.
and check it out and kind of celebrate. So it's 10 years of video games from Arte, ARTE.
Yeah,
and
I have played precisely one of the games in this trailer.
Yeah, I think we've all probably heard of one or two of these games, right? And you're like, oh, I didn't realize they make actually kind of like their logo. To hell with the ugly. Never heard of this. Tried it on Steam. Freaking love this game. It's kind of this cool adventure. You know, I had to go through these, bust through these real quick. I'm gonna pause this real quick.
Yeah,
had to kind of bust through these quick just so I can understand what these games are. I'm not gonna spend like 7-8 hours each game. That's not what you do with these types of collections. But How to Say Goodbye is actually a really cool puzzle game. You're kind of moving stuff along these platforms, which is pretty neat. Typewriter, which you've played.
That's the one I played.
It's very easy to understand. Yeah, there you go.
It's aesthetically cool as hell.
It's aesthetically really cool. I found myself playing a lot of Vectronom for 2019.
This looks good.
It is essentially what you are is you play this cube and you're bouncing on these platforms. And these, the initial few levels is just like you bounce on a straight line. And then you have to wait. Some of these platforms will drop out of the way. So you get to a couple and you wait and it pops back up and you hop across. And it's like, oh, these platforms start doing other things and there's other colors. These colors don't seem like they're important, but they end up being pretty important later. And then so you get all the way across and you're like, shit, in order to get to complete this level, I have to make my way all the way back. Okay, you make your way all the way back. It's like, oh shit, now I have to go all the way back, but I have to capture these little Pac-Man style dots. Oh, and now I have to go back and do this, and now I have to go down here. So the levels are designed really well for that type of thing.
It's like
it can get frustrating as hell though, but
like Hubert meets Marble Madness.
Yes, it's a great way to say it. And it's really cool. It's a cool little vector graphic of puzzler. Perfect on a Steam Deck. Perfect. Inwa only played this for maybe a half hour or so. It just, again, it's another cool kind of story. Bury Me My Love. This was one that I think a lot of people have probably heard of. It's the, you're communicating. It's an adventure game. You're communicating through phones and kind of messages, and it's definitely got the deeper meanings. I don't need to go into it, but definitely check it out because there's a whole refugee type of aspect to it. But really cool. Vandals. We've played these kinds of games. I'm sure you've played them on mobile platforms, right? Where you kind of go around, and you kind of stop and avoid
it's Hitman Go.
Yeah. Hitman Go. Thank you. In this case, there are things like graffiti that you have to pull out. There's a few other things you have to do. It's Hitman Go, but it's a little more based on. It's a little more board game like than Hitman Go, and what happens at each of these little spots. So, but cool. I like the aesthetic. This didn't really play this, but I that's probably why, because I blew through that. Homo Machina didn't really play this all that much. I noted the interesting aesthetic. Unmaze. This one is cool because it reminds me of that. Let me back this up a little bit. You guys remember the was it Werther, the Art of Werther thing that I reviewed a few months back? Yeah. This has a lot of that feel in that it's there's a lot of art influence in this, and I really love the aesthetic of this one too because it shifts from sepia tones to black and white to painterly to solving puzzles. Art is really well known for these puzzle solving adventure style games, and that's what this collection is. Anyways, I let this collection kind of blaze through. Really cool aesthetics. These aren't giant games, but they are really interesting art house style games. Yeah. This one is probably since VR is probably the one that's the most like a traditional and Fisherman's Tale, but it's the most like a traditional style quote unquote game that maybe Vectorum. But anyways, a really cool collection for folks that are interested in just kind of checking out the anniversary of a company. I think this kind of stuff is a great idea. It's like, hey, pay us and we'll send you, buy this collection. You get to relive our history. It's kind of like it's not necessarily the same level as the stuff that Eclipse does, obviously, but it's a good way to say here's our bundle of our history. So
yeah, it's good for a company like this to do something like this because like it may have just been something that slipped past you, like who these guys are and what they're putting out. Like you may recognize a game or two, but you don't recognize Art as as a developer, as a publisher. Yeah. So,
but you will keep an eye on them because you'll say, "Oh, I like this game or I like that game," and all of a sudden they're stuck in your zeitgeist. It's like a lot of the, like I said, I think it's a great way to self promote, and it's like I think it's like $30 for this collection, which seems like a lot, but it's not. I mean, when you think about all the games you're getting, I think it probably ends up being a pretty good price there, and keep an eye on sales and stuff. But it's just cool to see a company that's not the typical big AAA publisher. Like, oh shit, I didn't know they existed, but now I do. So, and the games control really well. They don't all work on the Steam Deck, and that was the issue that I was finding out. Like a lot of them are very not Steam Deck friendly, so I had to reinstall some of them on my PC. Some I could play on the Steam Deck, and that really kind of the only thing that was sort of bugging me, because I installed everything on my Steam Deck, and you get the big thing that says may not be compatible, has not been tested. I'm like, crap. All right, do it on the PC. But yeah, it's just cool to get this type of collection, and you get to try a bunch of different games. And like I said, there were a few that to bear me my love, I actually owned that on a couple platforms. Didn't know that was Art that was the publisher. Vectorum I really liked, and then I had never played that was a Typewriter that you mentioned, or Rider,
Typewriter.
Typewriter. I never played this. Really freaking liked it.
Yeah, I like those kind of like momentum based, like It's just a runner game, but
it's a runner. But with the colon. But yeah, anyways, cool. Art, thank you for sending this over. I think it's just cool to see all the different developers on here and all the different styles and great art. So great art from Art. And that's what I'm going to talk about from my standpoint. But you have a couple that you're going to chat about. And I'm going to start with, let me start with this one here. It's the release trailer. I'll do this. I'll start with this guy. Let me share the screen. So you've been playing a few games, several games. One
focus
game,
on two.
We're gonna focus on one game was actually kind of announced at the Xbox event back in June, and when we saw it, we're like, "Oh shit, that actually looks kind of cool." And I think that was Jusant was actually announced Jusant was announced at that event. And it's a climbing game.
It is.
Climbing games are in style.
But the difference about this one is that this is actually a climbing game and not like climbing adjacent. It's not like Celeste or something like that, and it's not like what was that really popular meme one that all the streamers are playing? Only Up, I think it was. This one's actually like a climbing game. There's actually like there's mechanics going on here. So just to get it out there, first and foremost, this is kind of more of a meditative game than anything. You're not going to die, and there's no like combat or anything. This is get to the top, and it's also environmental storytelling. Clearly, you're climbing this mountainous region, but also something's clearly happened. You can look around and see dilapidation around you. There used to be a civilization here. What was here, unclear. And so you're just going up. You're just climbing, and you learn about it along the way. Sometimes you'll just see stuff in the environment. Sometimes you'll find seashells that you could put up to your ear, and you could hear the echoes of the past kind of thing. And you
echoes of the past.
Yeah, you find like, journal pages and things like that. So it's kind of a super, super chill game. It the climbing is very, very satisfying. It's like you each trigger controls a different hand.
Okay.
So it's that thing where it's like you grab something and then you can pull yourself up, and you grab something and you pull yourself up, and you're doing that. You could see that little mount.
Is it sort of like a physics-based climber type of thing, or it
It's
has
not
a little
really.
bit of that?
Not
Okay.
really. It's really forgiving as to what you're doing. I mean,
Okay.
you have a stamina meter.
Got it.
If you see where he's putting his pike into like that little box that's on some of the walls, that's where you're mounting your line initially. You kind of got infinite rope.
Sure.
So you're never gonna fall further than where you've
really?
placed
Okay.
that. And you get 3 sort of handheld pikes that you can sort of stab in the wall to get yourself a new handhold in case you're having problems going around and stuff. So you can kind of free climb to an extent. But it's pretty straightforward. You have a little blobby buddy that you can kind of call on once in a while, and he does stuff like this where he makes like vines grow or flowers bloom.
I'm your blobby buddy. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, you can swing from use the rope and while running. And
is it
like
pretty
that.
straightforward for the controls?
It is very straightforward. The tutorial also does a really good job.
Oh, okay, good. That's
giving it. And like I said, it's very low impact. You never really feel anytime you set yourself back, it was your own fault almost every time. Like you didn't anchor yourself right or something. So like, but you never lose that much.
Sure.
Progress. And yeah, it's really just sort of a reflective kind of game. There's no talking. Like if there is talking, it's so minimal that it never even entered my consciousness kind of thing.
So it looks like it's like a better climbing mechanic than like Uncharted mixed with a little bit of Journey.
Yeah. Oh, it's 100% inspired by Journey. You can tell. This game is 100% vertical Journey.
I like that.
But without the multiplayer thing. So yeah, the story is told sort of in silence.
Okay.
It's neat. I like this kind of game. It's definitely not like stuff Don't Nod has put out before. It's not like what's the franchise that Life is Strange.
Life is Strange.
Yeah, it's definitely nothing like those. And I think there's a couple of other games that it could vaguely kind of be like, but like I don't know. This is definitely one of those games where it's like you could definitely tell it's a French game. And you could definitely tell it was just designed to be chill. Cool. A reflective piece. Yeah, I really liked it. I enjoyed it. I played most of it on my Raj Ally because it just
I find it funny you call it the Raj Ally.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's Raj, Rogue, whatever. It's the Asus Ally, the Asus
portable.
Yeah,
that you played.
Yeah. So
sweet.
It worked really well on that. Worked really well on everything. That I think it's on Game Pass right now. So if you want to play it, you can download it and play it right now. I would recommend it. I didn't have any problems with it. I saw a lot of reviews saying it was buggy too, but I never really experienced any bugs. So I don't know. Also, Jusant, it even tells you at the beginning when you start the game up what that means, and it's like an ebbing tide kind of thing.
Ooh.
Like it's like so yeah. So yeah, that's a good one. I liked that one a lot. It's definitely a thumbs up on my end.
Another meditative game that you've been playing, in the same vein, is Transformers Earthspark Expedition.
Meditative.
You're climbing something.
Yeah, so this is a Transformers game based on the most recent TV series.
Yeah,
You only play as Bumblebee. Which is really weird. But
Camaro Bumblebee or VW Bug Bumblebee or neither Bumblebee?
Nondescript American modern American muscle car Bumblebee. Like it is definitely supposed to be Camaro Bumblebee, but it is definitely not a Camaro. And yeah, G1 Grimlock is in this.
Nice. Okay, at least I got that. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, this is also like we're in the post Peter Cullen world of Optimus Prime, which bums me the hell out. It's like a weird sounding Optimus Prime. that I'm not a big fan of. He's kind of higher pitched in tone.
It's Charles Martinet actually.
Yeah, no,
I
know in the show it's actually like in the show it's actually like somebody, but they didn't voice it in the. But now I have to look it up. Who is?
You go from Autobots to Hey Autobots.
Yeah, Pee Wee Herman. You just hey Autobots.
Hey Autobots.
Let's roll out.
Yeah, let's roll out. Psych. I don't know, whatever.
I know you are, but what am I?
I know you are, but what am I, Megatron?
What is the hell is
more
this?
Like Nerdatron. Sorry, I'm wrong.
Transformers.
Continue. What's the battling like in this game?
It is just your traditional hack and slash nonsense, man. It is just 2-button combat, and you get some special moves. He's got like this laser move that can just like decimate the enemies. It is open world, which is crazy. So when you transform in the car mode, it's really you driving around a map, and the map is very Ubisoft, man. It's a map, and it has all these like points of interest. Yeah, there's points of interest everywhere that kind of lead into, and it does this thing that like the Far Cry games do, where you're clearing out sections of the map, and there's a little bar at the top. So when you get the bar, like this is back into Autobot control, you get to fight the boss.
And there's some human dude in there too. All right.
Yeah. I forget. He's got like a really dumb name. A lot of the like lore stuff in this just made me cross my eyes because like I simply just like G1 is all you're going to get me to really focus on, because I know that lore. Even the IDW comics, like I know that lore inside and out. But
this is new lore.
Yeah, I mean, this is a perfectly cromulent game. It's not particular. It's definitely geared towards kids. It's not particularly busted. Oh yeah, it's Alan Tudyk, by the way, is who voices Optimus Prime in the cartoon. It was killing me. I had to look it up, and I'm like, I know it's somebody, but it's just it's a kid's game, but it like plays well. It doesn't treat kids like idiots. Sure. This is a very interesting choice you've made. But yeah, I mean, it's not like I would recommend it to don't use
serious gamer.
I went to me or you to like Transformers fans.
Yeah,
people that grew up with like, it's definitely not. This is definitely for the people that like the Netflix show.
Okay.
It's just for kids.
It's definitely for kids who like the Netflix show.
Yeah, or even like older teens that like the Netflix show, like you or I would have been in like this age. Like it's like I said, it's not broken. It's not necessarily bad. It's just kind of nothing. It's just
kind of a basic.
Yeah, it's just your kind of basic thing. It's kind of cool that it doesn't like shy away from being a Transformers game, and it's kind of funny. It's actually got some funny writing in it from time to time. Like, Bumblebee said, "You bet Jurassic" to Grimlock,
nice.
which I really enjoyed personally. But yeah, it's. I got no complaints. I would never recommend it to like anybody that doesn't care about Earthspark. So it's and there's for us, like it's not like War for Cybertron's like unplayable or Devastation. Was that the platinum game?
Devastation's a platinum one.
Yeah, like there's plenty of other Transformers games. Like they just keep making them, and they don't necessarily make terrible games anymore. No. They're not cash. Like starting with the PS2, they just kind of started making, and if you cut out the movie games, they've just been kind of making decent Transformers games for a long time. So even that last one,
are what they are. Yeah, that last turn-based one, right?
That turn-based XCOM weird thing was like not great, but not terrible either. It feels like people actually tried to make a game. Like, back in the day, I have that Famicom version, that Convoy game, and that game sucks. Like, so.
Oh man. All right, so I think the tagline for this is "You could do worse."
Could do worse. Perfectly cromulent, I think, is
perfectly cromulent. Don't use made-up words like that. I love it. You've been playing another game. I've been playing another game. We've been playing this game as a lot of people have been playing this game. And I'm just going to share the screen because chances are everybody who's watching this has likely played this game. And that is Super Mario Wonder.
This game has embiggened the souls of many men.
This is, so yeah, I've been playing this. I played on my cruise a lot, which is great. It is a great lion bed style game. It is just absolutely okay. The way I've been describing this is it doesn't play like a 2D Mario game. It plays like an open world 2D Mario game in that the 2D levels are almost like adventure game-ish because they took the timer out, which means you can go back and forth in the level as much as you want and uncover stuff and find the wonder seeds and do little wonders things, and I think that's pretty cool. To be able to do that kind of. I almost think like they built this game twice because they had to remake every level as a wonder level and every level as a regular level. I love the visual style. I was surprised when I first saw this game. I thought, okay, another new Super Mario style game with just some other gimmick of like cards or an elephant. Yeah, it's way different than that. Way different than that.
It's definitely a combo of World and 2.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. With a little bit of 3D World thrown in as well.
Yeah, there's like they took the lessons from every Mario game up to this point and just sort of like rebuilt it around the best concepts. Like even Mario Maker has an influence in this because there are levels that are 100% straight ripped off of Mario Maker levels that you've played. Like because there's like music stages and there's those stages, like there was the Wonder Seed where you have to keep hitting like blocks,
the piranha plants.
Yeah, the piranha plants one. But there's also ones where you have to like keep hitting the blocks to make sure that the bricks are still there for you to run on. Like that is 100% some Mario Maker stuff.
I feel like Nintendo said, hey, go ahead with Mario Maker, have fun, create levels, and we're going to keep an eye on like what some of the cool things are that you guys are making, and we're going to totally rip it off. Hey, I'm okay with them ripping it off, by the way.
It works, man. I'm flabbergasted in this game where they have no problem breaking rules of Mario.
Yeah, man.
They have no problem like with the concept of speed running at all. So much. You see this bubble suit is clearly 100% with speed running in mind.
Yeah.
Because it lets you kind of create your own platforms, but because you can bounce off the bubbles.
Sure.
So it can get you extra height and also like bypass things because the bubble can also encapsulate enemies. So you can bounce off the bubble that just took out an enemy and it can kind of keep you buzzing along. The ground pound has a cancel. So you can use the ground pound to speed your downward trajectory. To speed your downward trajectory, but cancel out of it. So when you land on your feet and keep running.
There's so much flexibility that they've done with the 2D Mario game, which is it is really wild to me. And then you throw in the cards, like the modifier cards, which are just insane.
Like they have the one that just gives you the Mega Man X wall jump.
Yeah.
Like it's like, and it's insane that like I'm deep into this game and they're still throwing new concepts out. Like
same.
And the way Wonder Seeds,
every level seems different.
Yeah, and the way the Wonder Seeds like change, like the core gameplay of Mario within the level you were just playing. It's so ridiculous.
It's great because you can go through a level and not touch a Wonder Seed. And play it almost like a little bit of a traditional Mario. Like you can go through the level and play it like a traditional Mario. You can go through the level and play it with any of the badges that you want that you've unlocked, which can really modify the experience. The long jump.
Oh my god! Let me tell you that.
And then you play with the Wonder Seed. There's like the levels, basically 3 different levels.
Yeah, there was a card that they just showed off, a badge that they call them in here. That's the safety jump that it has saved my ass so many times because what it does is it gives you a second chance. If you fall into a bottomless pit, it jumps you up to safety, so you can like wall jump yourself back up in the same, or like bounce off the lava once or whatever. And man, there's so much.
I wish there were the one thing that I do wish, and I first of all, I have this game on par with Super Mario 3D World, which I thought was a fantastic game. Right, I think this is just as good as that game. It's the best 2D Mario, obviously, since like Mario World. I think that's pretty safe to say that. Even though Deluxe or whatever, New Super Mario Brothers on the Wii U was actually not a bad game. It was actually pretty good. I think this is probably up there in all the craziness that it allows. But what I really appreciate is the ability to play this game literally however you freaking want. However you want to. And it's I don't want to call it the Tears of the Kingdom-ish thing, because it's not, but it gives you definitely the freedom to like kind of mess with the levels and do certain things that even maybe they weren't quite predict. Like you can use some things off of the enemies and off of like pipes, which I don't know if Nintendo had actually.
I mean,
planned. Like, I was fucking around with stuff, and I'm like, check out what I did off of this barrel. That I don't know if Nintendo was even. I
mean, let's be real. If that's how they designed Tears of the Kingdom, that's like I have to assume they had to know what some of these mechanics were going to end up doing. It's cool to have like all new sound effects for Mario.
It's complete. It's so new. Yeah, it's great.
Everything's brand new. Like the fireball sound effect's different. The jump sound is different. Obviously, the cast is all different. Man, it is just.
By the way, give it up to actually like actual great writing in a Mario game. Like the dialogue is fantastic. I thought I was gonna get annoyed by those little flowers. But I left them on because you just go right. You can just run right past them. It's not like you don't have to stop and interact with them. You just blow right.
Yeah, actually, what I did, which I find infinitely more entertaining, is if you can go into the settings menu and you can change the text, and the vocals are completely different. So you can keep the text being English, but you can change it to virtually any language you want. So I changed all of the talking flowers to talk in Spanish.
Love it.
So, but also Dutch is really good too.
Oh, is it really sweet?
Yeah. So like when you run by, you just have like it's like, and they all have different, they because they obviously were recorded from a native speaker. So it's not like it's the Fire Flower talking in a, American voice with a Spanish accent. It's not like, oh, El Gigante, or something. It's like,
Yo soy Mario.
Yeah, no.
I guess
I recommend doing that. I highly recommend.
The one thing I would love, and the one I'm definitely it. The one thing I would have, first of all, I love the controls, very easy to control. I love all the badge modifiers, all that kind of stuff. Love the enemies. I'm in love with this game. It is one of my top games of the year because it just nails 2D Mario in different ways. I wish that there were more. I wish that there were more badges that you get by finding them instead of like, okay, this is a badge level. This is a badge level. And you can buy like a couple badges, but you only get badges basically from the specific badge levels or buying them. I wish there was like, you can only get this badge if it's super secret and super difficult to find this badge. It's hidden on the level. You have to do certain, like I would have loved, you have to have a certain badge first. And then this badge turns you into a gold coin vacuum or whatever. I would have loved stuff like that. I guess there's time to do like DLC and updates.
Yeah, I wish there was more. I wish there were some secrets that could only be found with the badges.
Yeah, same.
Like,
I think it's another point doesn't get to.
Yeah, like I think there'd be something cool if it gave you incentive to go back into a level because I need to use the vertical wall jump one to be able to get that 10 flower coin that's up there
or whatever. Yeah.
Because like there are hidden exits in the game too, just like Super Mario World. And some of them can only be found doing the Wonder Seed stuff. And things. So it's like there are locks to some of this stuff. So yeah, it would be.
It's a Mario-vania. Is kind of what it is, because you pick up the badge and you go back and you do certain things, or you can loot money. But like, it's
because
just
there have been times where I've gotten to the end of the level and I was like, where could the Wonder Seed have been? I missed it.
That too. It's like, why do I only have 2 stars in this level or whatever?
Yeah.
I think development wise, Nintendo has been really good at Stefan has been really good at kind of developing and grooming these younger developers on their teams, right? And so there, you see that with Zelda, you see it with Pikmin, you see it with Mario Kart, you see it with Animal Crossing. Like Mario Kart and Animal Crossing led to Splatoon, which a lot of people don't know. Like those are the teams that developed Splatoon, and so this game was essentially handed to younger developers on staff, and they obviously have some of the older Mario folks that have been with Nintendo for a long time developing Mario games, but they're letting the younger folks really develop. And I'm excited to see what Mario looks like. Just playing this game, I'm excited to see what Mario looks like in 5 years. The next 2D Mario, I think, is going to be bonkers insane.
It's nice
that team taking over.
I'm glad that they let some people go ham on what Mario is. Weren't afraid to let some people break Mario.
Yeah. They're ghosts now, by the way. I think the ghosts are really funny.
Instead of the bubble thing, and this game also made me realize how much I really don't like Mario Odyssey all that much.
Yeah, really?
I don't really hate the game, but like I played this and then I went back to Odyssey for a little bit, and I was just like, I really don't want to go back to this. I very rarely, like, I don't know. There's something about Odyssey that just like now feels worse, especially after 3D World and the Bowser's thing and all that stuff. Like, I wouldn't disagree with that.
Yeah,
I think Galaxy 1-2 double feature, because I think Galaxy 2 does better, like maneuvering around the map. Like the map system in Galaxy 1 is Garbo, and the Galaxy 2 is way better.
The map system here is kind of interesting too, because it's the map. You can kind of walk around and wander, do different things on the map. That's another thing. I really do wish that there were more secrets on the map, apart from just like coin blocks and stuff.
I don't know. That desert level has some cool shit going on.
That's true. The desert level has some cool shit. There's a lot of like meta games and sub things within Mario Wonder, and I'm very happy to see what they did with this game. And I'm excited, like, they could pump out another one of these Mario Wonder games within the next 2 years, because I think they have all the stuff they need now to really kind of do some cool things. But yeah, I think there's some really cool. It's just a phenomenal game. It's just a wholesome Mario game that reminds you of old Mario's. But then you play it and you're like, this is completely different than what I ever expected Mario to be. And I love it. I love like I said, it's an adventure game because you approach it differently. You go slower on purpose, and then you get that bubble suit, and then you're like, I'm going to speed run the fuck out of this level. Yeah. And I love it.
And I love that they really went back to some of the Super Mario World stuff.
Yeah.
Like there's the way the individual biomes are laid out, and the hidden paths, and even some of the aesthetic and like enemy fights and stuff like are all very Super Mario World in a lot of ways, but like only on a like base level. Like once you get deeper into the mechanics and stuff, it obviously disappears from being. I do wish I could just be Yoshi without having it be easy mode.
Yeah, it's the easy mode for Yoshi.
Yeah, because he can't. The thing about the Yoshi and whatever Nabbit. They can't use the badges, but they also can't get killed. Yeah. So, I mean,
I do like, though, that's one thing. Let me go back to this quick little watch. When Yoshi picks up something with his mouth.
The face he makes.
Little thing. I think
I love this Yoshi design. It is old school Yoshi.
It's good. They've done They've done old school Yoshi. They've done so much good stuff with the character designs.
The art style of this game is it, and like they showed some of that stuff that they were showing where it's like the old Disney style of physics and reality be damned, it's about aesthetics, and sometimes you have to sort of break. It's like that Zelda thing where it's like the Link to the Past sequel that I forget what its name was.
Link Between Worlds.
Link Between Worlds, where everything is at like a weird angle, just to give it that aesthetic that they want of the top-down angle. It's the same thing here. Like they show in the thing, Mario's mouth doesn't make any sense because you can see his entire of his mouth on the side of his head when he's running. And that's that's the Disney thing. That's the Mickey Mouse thing. It's the thing that Disney always did was Mickey's both ears are in shot at all times. So it doesn't matter physics to be damned or reality or whatever. It's like just ears have to be in the picture. And I like that. They didn't try to.
They really, you're right. They really took a look at this and said, we have a strong IP. Let's actually start developing these characters to have their own actual design style rather than just whatever
what the hardware lets us do.
It's like, okay, this is Mario in 3D.
I would say the Mario IP is the strongest it's been since the mid 90s at this point.
Agreed.
Because like Mario 64 sort of brought Mario was fading a bit.
What's a nabbit?
I don't know. What's the nabbit with you?
A rabbit that steals stuff. He nabs things.
Yeah, it's a thing. What the hell game did Nabbit originate in? New Super Mario 2 or something? I can't remember.
I think it was New Super Mario Deluxe, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
Or sorry, New Super Mario was U or something. Anyways, whatever.
Whatever.
No, they did so many good things in this game. It's phenomenal. I mean, it's Nintendo at its best with 2D Mario. And I'm so glad. Like there were rumors that this game was going to come out. That there was a 2D Mario game in the works. Some people thought it was going to be a remake of like Mario World or Mario 2, which by the way, I still love a freaking remake of Mario 2.
I wish they would just make a sequel to Super Mario Brothers 2. Like,
that's true. But what they ended up doing here was great, and I think there's so much that they're going to build off of this that is going to make people really pretty stoked for the future Mario. But it kicks butt. It's a great game, great for families. It's great to play portably. I haven't been playing on a big screen because I've just been playing portably.
I do wish the characters had different attributes, but also I get it. I get design wise, that's not what this game was built to do.
Sure.
So like whatever. You wanted everyone on even footing.
Except for Yoshi's and Nabbit.
But
it's great. It's great. A lot of fun. Mario Wonder. We'll be talking about it more.
Wait for Mario Wonder the Lost. Listen, if they made a painfully hard version of this game, I would lose
that was the mind. Luigi Deluxe, right? Luigi.
Where everything was like you had to finish every level in like 30 seconds.
Man. Let's go. It's good. It's a good game. It's a great game. It's better than a good game. And we'll talk about animation. Okay, that is it for Mario Wonder. That is it for this week's episode. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you, JJ. As usual, we are, like I said, we're going to be talking about all these big bangers. We got more review games over the next 2-3 weeks here, inundated with codes and time, and trying to get all this stuff get Ghostbusters up and running if they fix this game. But we have some really cool games that we're going to be talking about next week and the week after. I think we're going to be going all the way through the holidays, and we'll have our, like I said, we're going to have the Game Awards drink along, which y'all will be a part of. We're going to have our big Game of the Year episode. We're going to have the holiday stuff, which are going to be pretty cool. Stay tuned. We got 2 months of just awesomeness coming up. With that said, the place to find out about all that first is in the Discord. And again, hello to all the new people that have been joining the Discord lately. It's been pretty cool to see folks popping in there. And Retro Game Fest on Saturday. I should have you be a photographer. I should have signed you up to officially represent SideQuesting. Because that's one advantage of having a little blog like ours, is we getting it stuff. By the way, PAX East, we're going to be back. We're going to be hosting a panel or 2 or 3, and having a good time doing it. Stay tuned for that as well. When that info comes out. SideQuesting.com, Discord, Dolly Domofsky, wherever, _double_J or _J, wherever. Just find us on the website. We'll see you on the next episode of JJ, say it.
The SideQuest. Bye. Bye.